Q&A. The last time I did a Q&A was years ago. I have wanted to do one for so long, but as you know, the comments on my channel have been disabled since forever. And it's really difficult for me to get in touch with you to ask me questions. But I have been finding other ways to communicate with you guys. So I'm talking to a lot of you on Instagram, a lot of you write me messages, and another way of communicating with you is through the community tab on YouTube. So under the community tab, I wrote you guys a message to ask me anything you like, and you asked me a few questions. So today I'm going to answer those questions. 11 months ago, I asked you to do the same thing and only 2 people asked me questions. So I'm going to answer those questions 11 months too late, but I'm going to answer those ones as well. So the first one was asked in Spanish, but I'll say it in English, is how did you meet your husband in the UK or in Spain? I met my husband in Spain, which is weird because we both grew up in the UK, but we met in Spain. We actually both moved to Spain in exactly the same year. He moved to Madrid, I moved to Galicia in the north of Spain, and I was there for a year. He was in Madrid for a year working at this company, and then I got offered a job at his company and I moved over to Madrid as well and started working with him at the same company, and that's how we met, at work. What's your favourite thing about living in Spain? Do you miss home a lot? I don't think I have one favourite thing. I love the weather. I love that it gets so hot and so sunny in the summer. Spring is like beautiful weather as well, like really hot. Then winter, it actually gets cold, and I like that as well. Like I like the fact that you get the 4 seasons. I love the people. The people are just amazing. They're so friendly, so warm, so loving. Like, I just love Spanish people. For me, they're very like the Italians, and my dad was Italian. So maybe that's why I'm so drawn to Spanish people, I don't know. I love speaking Spanish. I love the fact that I get to speak Spanish every day living here. Just everything, like honestly, I just like, I love Spain. Do I miss home a lot? I miss home, I definitely miss home. I mostly miss Chinese food and fish and chips. The little family that I have left in Scotland, I miss them as well. But apart from that, like I don't miss much else, to be honest. Okay, now on to the recent questions. If you could have one superpower, what would it be and why? Probably to be invisible. Because if I were invisible, God, I could like spy on so many people. That would be so juicy. The information I could find out by like spying on people. I could like just get on an airplane without paying and fly wherever I wanted. You could walk into anywhere for free because you're invisible. You could just basically do whatever you want. What superhero do you find inspirational and why? Superman? He just wants to save people all the time. Like, that's pretty inspirational, pretty selfless. Do you like Spain or the United Kingdom better and why? I think I like Spain better just because of the reasons I mentioned before, you know, just the people. I mean, I'm not saying British people aren't lovely, like British people are lovely too, but British people are probably less affectionate just because that's the way we've been brought up. Just for those reasons, like the people, the weather, getting to speak Spanish, I probably prefer Spain. Another thing that's amazing about Spain is the benefits that you get as a family. So because we have 4 kids, we get 150 euros a month from the government. My husband pays very little tax because I'm not working at the moment. He's the only one that's working. And because we have 4 kids, he pays very little tax. We get amazing free healthcare. The public services and the government money that you get is really, really good in Spain. We're very lucky in that respect. But the UK is really good. The people are lovely. The food, I think I prefer the food in the UK, to be honest. Like, there's so much food that I miss. People have got a really good work ethic in the UK. I think people are very hard working. But for me, like personally, I do prefer Spain. And then I have some questions that people ask me all the time. And they are you going to have more kids? And the answer is 100% no. We have 4 and we are not gonna have anymore. If you don't already know the story, my husband had a vasectomy booked, and while we were waiting on him getting his vasectomy, I fell pregnant with baby number 4 by accident. We're so happy because we finally got our little boy. We love him so much, and you know, it was destiny, it had to happen, and I'm so happy that it did. But if we hadn't even planned on having 4, then there's no way that we plan on having 5. And since then, my husband has had a vasectomy, so unless that hasn't worked, there's no chance of me falling pregnant again. I personally would hate to fall pregnant again. First of all, I have to give birth without an epidural, and it's the most excruciating pain I've ever experienced in my life. I cannot go through that again. This time around, postpartum has been awful. I've had mastitis ever since I've given birth. Like I'm on the verge of getting it again, like I can feel it. I'm just so run down, like I feel awful. I don't know if you can tell, but I don't know if I look awful. Yeah, I do actually. My body is just telling me like, Louisa, you're done. You've had 4 children, one after the other. Sorry, but I can't take this anymore. And I have to listen to my body and realise that my body cannot go through any more pregnancies or any more births or any more anything to do with children. Like, I'm done. So yeah, 100% not having any more children. Feel very, very lucky and very, very grateful to have 4 beautiful, healthy children, but do not want any more. And the next one is, do you plan on moving back to the UK? No, definitely not. Life is too good here. The life we have here, we could never have that in the UK. We have a beautiful home that we didn't pay a lot of money for. Because we're English speakers, we're able to get pretty well paid jobs that we probably wouldn't get in the UK. Basically, with our money, we can get so much more in this country than we could in the UK. And on top of that, we get all the great like government benefits for having a large family, and we have the sunshine, and it's just, yeah, life's too good. The final question that I get asked quite a lot is, are you going to go back to work? I don't really know the answer to that. Another amazing thing about Spain is when you have a baby, you can take 3 years off work, and during those 3 years you're still contributing towards your pension and all that. After those 3 years, your company is obliged to give you your job back. So when I had Eva, that's what I did. I decided to take these 3 years off work, and then when I had Alba, I like renewed it, and now I've just had another baby and I've renewed it again. I don't actually have to go back to work now until Luca, who's only 2 months, turns 3. So in 3 years' time, I'll then decide, and it will be a very, very tough decision, because if I decide not to go back to work, then I've lost my job. And it was a good job, like it's not something to just walk away from. It was a good job. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe I will go back to that job. The problem is it's very, very far away. It's in the centre of Madrid, and we don't live in the centre of Madrid. We're like an hour out of the centre of Madrid now. So it would involve me travelling a lot. If I were to go back to work, we would have to pay for some kind of childcare. The kids only go to school 9 till 2, and I would be out of the house from like 7 till 4 or 5. And I just think, if I'm going to use my wages to pay someone else to look after my children, like, I'd rather be looking after my children. I don't know. We shall see. Anyway, that is all the questions. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!